It is time to once again go on the offensive against shameful behaviour from the political left. Big Hairy News is probably the biggest left-wing channel covering New Zealand politics. I used to like BHN, not anymore. Last night, BHN interviewed the leaders of the Māori Party. If you ever want to see irresponsible platforming and incompetent interviewing skills, just watch that interview. It was disgraceful. It was totally devoid of tough questions. There were really no serious questions at all. The BHN hosts constantly praised the Māori Party leaders, asked the occasional softball question, and sat there grinning and giggling as the co-leaders spewed bad take after bad take. I was shocked and appalled. One of the idiot co-leaders repeatedly praised Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore is an African military dictator. He has recently criminalised homosexuality. He is closely aligned with Russia. He has close connections with the notorious Wagner mercenary group. He recently went to Moscow for the Red Square military parade. And one of the Māori co-leaders repeatedly praised this man, only to receive absolutely no pushback from BHN. To the contrary, they nodded along, and when he finished his rant, they said thank you for educating us. It was pathetic. It was the epitome of irresponsible platforming. The moron co-leader of the Māori Party literally got away with praising and promoting an anti-gay Russia-aligned African dictator and got absolutely no pushback. In what world is that acceptable? It makes a Sean Plunkett interview look like hard-hitting journalism. They did not ask any tough questions, they constantly praised the Māori Party idiots. If you are going to platform significant political figures, you have an obligation to ask tough questions. There are plenty of tough questions to ask. The co-leaders literally believe in a race-based defence policy where we refuse to defend Australia because they are white, but commit to defending the Pacific Islands because they are Polynesian. That is literally what they suggested in an interview with Jack Tame. And this kind of deranged racist foreign policy gets no pushback. They get to go on left-wing podcasts and be treated like gods. It is embarrassing. The co-leaders argued against New Zealand's support for Ukraine and received no pushback. The co-leaders claimed that Japan was never a threat to us in World War II and received no pushback. They mindlessly repeated the delusion that young people are all progressive and the coalition is the last gasp of the boomers. Something which people have been saying for decades. The interview was utterly devoid of serious journalism. The BHN hosts were desperately seeking the approval of the idiot co-leaders. Compliments and praise was deployed at every possible opportunity. I don't know if they were motivated by white guilt or a desperate desire to appeal to high-profile guests or what, but it was utterly inexcusable. They praised the Māori Party for calling Winston Peters a waste of Māori blood. What is praiseworthy about that racist abuse? When I saw the thumbnail for the interview, I expected a bad interview, but it was somehow even worse than expected. It was a textbook case of irresponsible platforming. It should be studied. I doubt the BHN hosts will watch this video, but I hope they do. They have an ethical responsibility to do better. This is seriously irresponsible behaviour. I mean, in what world is it acceptable to let your guest repeatedly praise an anti-gay Russia-aligned dictator as though he is some great hero, when he is nothing but a faded shadow of Thomas Sankara, a very faded shadow? There is more to being a leftist than wearing a red hat and a military uniform. And one of the co-leaders claimed that Japan was falsely made out to be our enemy in World War II. Japan was looking to dominate the whole region. If they got their way, of course they would have come for us. They had commerce raiders in our waters. They would have done what they did in China. They would have done what they planned to do in Australia. They would have raped and murdered their way through this country. Thank God our soldiers stopped them. And the amorality of that statement. The Japanese committed unspeakable crimes, and many courageous New Zealanders died to defeat them. And now the Māori Party mocks that noble legacy by pretending that the Japanese were never our enemy. And BHN did not correct them on this. Shameful and disgraceful. Some people are going to hate this video. They will accuse me of dividing the left. I don't care. I will offer consistent principled commentary. I hold the left to high standards. I have zero tolerance for this kind of behaviour. BHN needs to sort themselves out.